Warning, the following show features stunts performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. Accordingly, Flegner, Phil, and
it should be about
producers-
financial advice.
Oh, Rob Bailey is not your financial advisor.
What's up? I'm Rob Bailey. Today we have some questions for me, all right? Questions? What are the questions? Do I need to study the questions? Oh, you're gonna hold the questions up. Okay. If you only had $2,000, what would you do? Ooh. All right. If I had $2,000 to start a business, start a business. All right, so if I had $2,000 to start a business, what would I do? Well, I always bet on myself, so I would bet on myself. $2,000, I would buy a Riley Hopkins silkscreen press. I would buy ink. I would start a website. I'd probably pay someone to start a website so it doesn't break, or I would just use a Shopify template, and I would start an apparel line, or I would start freelancing, printing for local friends. Pretty much the same thing I did 11 years ago, but with a much bigger budget, $2,000, Jesus. What was the next one? How much did I start my first company with? I started Flagner Fair with $400. Probably 400 with some change. So I started with $400, that's how much the press cost. And then I used to buy apparel on clearance. I mean, it was $1.09 with limited sizes. First month, I think the first month, I want to go back and look at my real numbers, but I feel like I started with $400. First month, I think I turned like $4,000. The following month, I think was a lot more. I think it was like $11,000. After that, we really climbed and we hit like mid-20s. That's when I moved to my first warehouse. I think after that, I want to look up real numbers because I'm actually curious. I don't just make shit up. What would I do if I had $20,000 to start a business? Yikes. All right, so how'd I get 20 grand? Did it just pop into did I find it under my couch cushion? Found it under my couch cushion. All right, so cool. So if I out of nowhere found $20,000 under my couch cushion, why are they always doing construction outside our doors? It's always something here, man. We can never get a quiet environment. If I had $20,000, I would probably start a construction company right now, or a painting company. Probably a construction company. I've learned enough about construction recently to know that you don't really need to know what you're doing and you can sort of figure it out. So you would need, a used truck. I would do everything is what I would do. Wait. $20,000. Man, I need to think more on this one. Can I have a second? Sorry, the floor scrubber. I also don't want to remember my numbers and just make it the fuck up. You know what I mean?
We don't.
I know, I tried to. I know, but I can go back to bank accounts and actually pull up statements. What would I do with 20 grand? 20 grand is such a weird number because it's a lot of money, but it's also not a lot of money. Like for 20 grand, you could start a supplement company. 100% you could start a supplement company. You can make a really banging pre-workout and do your initial order with 20 grand. That's probably what I would do. If I specifically had $20,000, I think I came out with Onward. I think Onward launched with a $20,000 investment. Austin, do you think it was 20 grand? I think it was about $20,000 to launch Onward. So there's the answer. I would make a supplement called Onward. That would be a nootropic, energy boosting, immune system boosting energy supplement. Wow, you know what could make me help talk better right now? If I had some Onward. You don't got Corona, right? I can't. You don't got the pandemic, right? fucking disaster. I spilled it all over myself. All right, next question. Did I answer that one? All right, next question. What would I do if I had 200, is this the game? So it's what if I had $2,000? What if I had $20,000? And what if I had $200,000? Okay. So if I had $200,000, I would not put it in the stock market. I think that's what everyone does right now. I would absolutely not fucking do that. If you've noticed, at no point in time did I say invest your money in the stock market. Stock market, you literally have no control over. You can learn it, you can play it, all that shit, but it does what it wants. If I had $200,000, to be completely honest, I would buy an Airbnb. I would buy an Airbnb because you're guaranteed that your $200,000 will never leave, because that's too much money to take like a giant risk for. So if you put it into an Airbnb or a rental property, you don't really have a chance of losing that, because once again, don't hold me accountable for this. Is there a disclaimer? But listen, there's a really good chance that you're not gonna lose that money, because to me, you actually have a physical asset that's appreciating in value the whole time. And then also you're making money monthly on it, and you can pay down your mortgage if you have a mortgage. And honestly, if you learn the real estate game, the rental game, for me, that's what I'm really using for long-term wealth, is real estate. Oh, when do you start buying things for yourself? During, like when you're making money? Yeah, I mean, honestly, on my come up, I didn't buy anything for myself until I bought the Cayman. But everything for myself, like, and I think that's one of the big things, is people really miss the point, like the work-life balance and buying things for yourself. I mean, from day one, I was buying things for myself, but myself was the business. You know what I mean? So like, if you have a lawn care company and you want to buy something for yourself, you should be that in love with your lawn care company that you're like, yo, I'm buying a new mower. Like, to separate it and be like, all right, cool, I'm making money on lawn care, let me go buy a fucking Rolex. That, I don't know, I feel like that startup, you should be so in that like when you buy stuff for yourself, it should be for the company. Now, when do you get past the point where you can start buying stuff for yourself? That's up to you, man. I ain't gonna tell you what to do. As long as you don't tell me what to do, I won't tell you what to do. Thank you, guys. Suck my dick. Wait, was that time for the outro yet? Suck my dick. Start this. You got questions for me? First, we're going to do a little shout out to all my Spanish fans who are going to vote for me in this next election.